Okay, guys, so it's harder to put out a video a day than you think, even if it's not like an edited one or one that's very edited or anything. And so here I am at 11:30 at night here. Just got back from work, parking here in Duluth here. Maybe I get a little bit of view here in the windshield. You have something to look at, I guess, huh? But but anyway, but it is like 11. It is still the same day. I'm going to count this as still, as long as I film a little bit of something. So I'll just film a little something real quick here. I guess some of these could be really short, a few of these, but anyway, I guess I'll just all I'll really do is just try to review what we've done so far this week. So far, as far as like this 30-day series. So okay, so yeah, so the idea was that to try to like make my hobbies better, just different things. I mean, basically just kind of get out and do more things in life, which is tough to make myself do that a lot of times, and I'm probably not the only person. So where you have a lot of ideas, but you just don't have the energy or manage to get around to it. So I thought by finding this kind of like Jungian psychology and finding some way to symbolize, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of some general principles. It's kind of tough to explain exactly why I think, but why I think that, it's something that's going to work and stuff like that. Maybe I'll talk more about that later, but I mean, if I'm wrong, it's not really hurting nothing, but it does seem like it does actually allow some focus. And there is a thing too, I was realizing too, that like there is, when you write something down on paper, it does like almost like I think I was talking to the AI about this a little bit. I think like that it kind of causes a thing where you kind of project kind of like yourself into that thing. So let's just say you have like a chart that like marks like your progress in life and different things or something like that. Well, in a sense, there's a part of you that just actually can't really distinguish the difference between that symbol and reality. I mean, not like most of you, but part of you. And there's a thing where you get kind of maybe a good feeling and kind of like a feeling by just looking at this picture that symbolizes what is going on in your life. Even though it's not real, there's part of you that actually kind of feels like it is like real. What kind of animal is that running across? I think that might be a skunk I just saw down there. Okay, I know you can't see it with this camera's not. Yeah, when you're sitting here at night, sometimes you can see a lot of critters going around sometimes. Anyway, maybe a raccoon possibly. Anyway, if it was something bigger, if it was like a domesticated pet, it would have to be like a dog. I don't think there's many stray dogs around here, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, I just had the idea that, writing this stuff down is really in like a symbolic thing is helpful, as far as your life, And now I know you got to think it's a bunch of extra effort, but then they say, okay, maybe this extra effort's worth it because it's, it's going to be a YouTube video too, right? Because, if you're making a YouTube video, you're going to spend more time than go to the beach. It's going to take more, you're going to put maybe more time editing it than you actually were at the beach a lot of times, but it's worthwhile because it is you're doing it for a specific purpose like that. But I mean, but a person could do this type of technique and not even film a video, then it would be a lot quicker. But I just found that once you have this little thing that I came up with these 4 different personalities based on, or these 4 different psychological situations or functions, you want to call it. Like I'm not saying this is perfect, but based on those 4 different locations, but it seems like it worked like pretty well as far as like to describe like what we're talking about, like why something you find it to be enjoyable and stuff like that with different activities, which is mostly what we're looking at here. And anyway, so yeah, so and just to review what we did. Okay, so the first day we just did that Hibbing Quaternity, right? And then we and I did a real detailed thing in that video if a person really wanted to see that. But anyway, and then the second day, then there's about a 3-week period between that first video and that second one, which would be like, so the first one's like the 0 video, then the intro video, or the 0 video, I'm calling it. And the number 1 video, I went back to Hibbing again, okay? But but now that I had it all set up, I was all ready to go. And now I've been doing it every day once I just had a simple method. But it's just that I made that initial video, then I had made this big thing in this VR program and stuff like that. It took a long time and a lot of writing and stuff. And, so and what I ended up mostly talking about at Hibbing was this idea of the Grove, using that North Hibbing ghost town area as the kind of the model for that. But And then I talked about a couple different grove type things. Okay, so basically it's like a kind of a forest, but more of like a managed forest where it's like there's a big canopy and the air kind of blows through it easily and that kind of thing. And I was kind of referring to like the grove archetype, and I was saying it could apply even to things that aren't necessarily natural, but just have that same kind of feeling of kind of like that openness where you can see really far, and there's shade and there's wind that can blow through, you know. So that was so the idea is that basically anytime you go to one of those places, you're kind of connected with all those other places, and you can kind of remember, oh yeah, this is really similar to like when I was at that other place. You can imagine, you know. So it kind of, it's one way of feeling home, that, you know, by being at different places and basically saying that, hey, I'm kind of connecting to the same archetype, that, you know, this is the feeling I get from this is based on some basic feeling that people have about the grove archetype, which is maybe, I was saying it was probably, and I know I was kind of making this up, but, you know, as far as, but if it is an archetype, you'd say that it's probably something that's kind of based on like the mother archetype, basically, you know. It's like, you know, so anyway, but, you know, about security and stuff. Okay, then the next day, okay, was the day, let's see, when I had the music thing happen, where it was like, let's see, I think so, let's see, or was that the gardening thing? Oh no, I think the second, I guess it doesn't matter which day is which, I'll look it up, but I think the second day was that day with was that the gardening fail day, oh wait, no, I don't think it was. Okay, I think it was. Okay, I think that was like where I talked about music, and I had a couple different reasons. I said that there was like an abstract part of music that's real mathematical, and a part that's like more flowing, and a part that's archetypal because it tells people stories, and then yeah, so that sort of thing. And then as far as then I was just talking about, after I talked about, you know, why we enjoy music, then I made a couple steps toward learning and trying to review some of my sheet music skills that I once had a long time ago, and then trying to review those and basically plan on trying to write this, or trying to play this one song, which it was The Lonely Man from the Incredible Hulk series from the 70s. Anyway, so yeah, so I had that music thing, where I talked about that music theory, and then then that next one was the one where I made the video like concentrate on making it like the thumbnail about being like the jester, that a YouTube person's kind of like the jester archetype, but that's because I had kind of like the failure with, I got really upset because I had this failure with my crops that I was trying to grow, my plants, my permaculture experiment. But then I said, like, well, maybe if I was trying to be Mr. Proud, like, and I was some CEO, I couldn't tell you about the failures, but, you know, but we're in YouTube, we're kind of almost like born to be jesters, you know, because if we don't, you know, because that's our thing, because if we don't have a lot of success in other areas where we can, you know, we can just be more free about that, you know, not that, well, maybe they wouldn't even, maybe that's not even something that they would hide, you know, that's not big enough, but I mean, but you can probably, if you go a little bit further, if you think about things, there would be more stuff that they would hide that they wouldn't want to just tell the whole world about. Well, I mean, they'd probably, some of these guys, I don't even know, a lot of these guys obviously wouldn't be even have a desire of even putting a video out or something like that, you know, but anyway, just filming. I was just seeing, that's a good view. Oh, where you can see that all those up on the hill there, like all the that's the what's that called, like the what do they call that, like the antenna forest or something, I forget what they call it, that area where they have atop the hill where they have all those antenna towers, radio towers. So anyway, so I use that jester archetype as kind of a springboard, and I may have talked about a little bit of something else on that, but usually I was kind of labeling it like about the main thing, and then the next day yesterday I was back on talking about music again, but let's see, what was I doing? I think I was just doing a little further like practice, and I was kind of talking about, like, you know, what you could do to make like it be more fun or whatever, you know. Let's see, I think that's what I was doing anyway. All right, I forget. I think that's what I did yesterday. Okay, and then today I'm just doing this. So anyway, yeah, so like I said, sometimes it might just be a token video to say it's a video day, but yeah, but it's but definitely as I go on through this month, you can see, and then, you know, and if some of these videos are just kind of short anyway, it's not that big a deal, so you can just sub and keep going, you know. But I don't, you know, anyway, so that was just a quick review of what's going on. Yeah, it's just kind of pretty hot here in Duluth tonight, you know, so we're having like a few different like 90-degree days, although now I can feel it is kind of getting colder. Like I can feel like the cold kind of coming in on the wind. It kind of feels good. So anyway, I guess I'll go back to the house. I gotta go see my dog Sarge, and really tired right now, but probably gonna have to walk him a little bit. Although it seems like at night now, he kind of like, I don't know what, he seems like when I've been coming home, at night lately, he's been kind of in this habit where he'll just, want to go out and everything, and then he'll pee, and then he'll usually pee a lot, and then like and then he'll just want to go in. I guess I don't know. It's like maybe he's finding some place to poop in the house. I don't know, Maybe he's got more. Maybe it seems like he's got a little more habit of just like pooping down in the morning. So anyway, in case anybody was interested to know about my dog's poop, anyway, yeah. So all right, well that's about it, I guess. So I did manage to get some kind of video out tonight. It's not, not pretty, but hey, but if you're following this along, it might be fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that. No, I'm just saying that because I'm just comparing. I'm just trying to think. Okay, there's people I think that are maybe kind of similar to me, who I like watching. Maybe I don't know. I'm just kind of projecting that. I'm just I gotta think like what I want to listen to myself if I was not myself. So anyway, all right, guys. So talk to you later.
This 30-day YouTube miniseries is a psychological experiment using Jungian psychology to live better and experience more this summer. I'm not a psychologist, just a layman looking to apply Jungian principles to life. I'm starting with the idea that the unconscious mind is very smart and tells us things. And believing in this, I drove up to Hibbing, Minnesota, and I found that 4 locations in Hibbing, Minnesota corresponded quite well to 4 different principles called the Hibbing Quaternity. The first one is the Hibbing Ghost Town, which the characteristics is you feel the echo of the past as the wind flows down established paths. This represents unconscious voice being in the center of a moving circle, the mother archetype, home, center, castle, etc. Character I'm coming up with here to explain it is Nellie, the ghost sheepdog mom who circles the area, protects and guides. The Greyhound Museum has to do with travel and also the Jungian idea of beauty as a way of mentally feeling your way into physical objects and flowing into life in general, flowing beauty, mentally becoming part of the object. The character here I'm coming up with is Flows With It, which is a Native American cartoon character who has a magic canoe, finds all paths, glides over, portages, flows into life. Now the ore pit, it represents awe, the smallness of the individual, abstraction, and the way to in making the world simpler, more understandable. Actions, the beauty of symmetry, the beauty of maps, beauty of mathematics. And this is supposed to be Laser Nash. Doesn't look like him that much, but anyway, it's like John Nash with his cup sending out all these laser beams across, dividing the world, trying to find that order in the chaos from A Beautiful Mind, if you haven't seen that movie. Bob Dylan's home. It represents stories, archetypes, wishing to become someone else. DJ Hat Trick, what he does is he gets people into the groove by putting different hats on and sending people into different paths. Sort of like the way we do whenever we listen to a song, for example. Here's a simplified view of the quaternity here that I'm going to be using for this 30-day adventure. And this is what it's going to more look like. I'm just going to do a simple sketch that I'll put in the video and then just kind of explain it like on a notepad like this to make it simpler so I can get it done. So I can do a video for 30 days. And so subscribe to get all 30 of those videos.